Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sharon, and I know it's been very long since I did a YouTube video. It's been like 2 months. I hope you guys are okay, you're doing good. Yeah, I've been so much busy with school, and yeah, I decided to drop by and catch up with you guys. I'm not promising consistency as per this time, and but I'll try as much as possible to be dropping at least 1 or 2 videos if it's possible. But in case you see me not dropping anything, just know that I'm around but a little bit busy. But when I'm free, I can assure you guys that I'm going to be dropping a video. I want us to catch up, and today I want us to talk about something different. I want us to talk about boundaries. I know you guys have heard about boundaries, and yeah, so today I decided to talk about it. So what are boundaries? Boundaries are things that are designed to avoid being manipulated and to make your self-love intact. For example, you can have a personal boundary in that to avoid being manipulated by other people like friends, family, or your partner. You can set boundaries to prevent you from being manipulated. For example, you can have a personal boundary that you have set for yourself, and that is like you don't receive calls past 9 p.m. That is a boundary that you have set for yourself. Also, another boundary, self boundary, is you don't reply to emails during the weekend. That is a boundary. You don't use your phone after you've woken up. You don't use your phone up to this time. So that is a boundary, and that is what I want us to talk about, because I've realized that personally I can say that I've not been good at boundaries. So I've been reading about it, and at least now I have an idea of what boundaries are, and I've been setting boundaries for myself for quite a while. And yeah, boundaries are things that everyone should have in his or her life. Okay, so we have various boundaries. I've talked about personal boundaries. There are friendship boundaries. That is, you can have friendship boundaries between your friends, and also you can have boundaries between you and your partner if you're in a relationship. You can also have family boundaries. So, okay, for example, I can talk about work boundaries. You can say that you won't talk about other your fellow workmates concerning the organization. That is a boundary. Like you won't let your other workmates manipulate you in doing loads of work past 5 p.m. When it's 5, you're ready to go home. So that is a boundary. You can't do any work past 5 p.m. That is a boundary in work. There's also friendship boundaries. Like, your friends need to understand that maybe there's a time that you need to be alone, and maybe there are things that you don't want to be done. For example, you can't go with your friends to a certain place That is your boundary that you have set within you and your friends. Your friends can't talk to you in a disrespectful manner. That is a boundary also. Also, we have relationship boundaries, and I know this is where there has been a lot of issues between you and your partner, and it has brought a lot of conflict, because maybe you have set this boundary and your partner is not willing to accept that you have this boundary. And yeah, okay, for example, you and your partner, you have boundaries. Let's say your partner is not allowed to talk to you in a disrespectful manner. Your partner is, you can also say that you can't be the mother, you can't be a mother to your partner in a relationship. And also, another thing is, your partner is not allowed to touch your things, maybe your phone or your private properties, without asking you. For example, this phone issue, I know it's really a big issue, because you can find that your partner takes your phone without your permission. He gets into your phone, he looks at your messages, he looks at everything. And yeah, I know that's where and that is where your boundary is being violated. Personally, I say that if you're in a relationship, you should respect each other boundaries, because if your partner is not okay with you touching your phone or your properties, I guess your partner should respect that boundary. And it's not that you're cheating or something else. It's just a boundary to avoid being manipulated or putting your self-love in intact. Another thing I can say about relationship boundaries, and I can say that your partner is supposed to be emotional mature. Like, you won't be there telling him to do this. Like, that is a boundary that you can set within you and your partner. Let me try to differentiate between a boundary and a standard, so that you can understand that boundary is different from a standard. A boundary is something that is designed to stop you from being manipulated by another person, while a standard is something, are qualities that one must have, that a partner must have, before you entertain him or her romantically. That is a standard. Let's say, for example, a standard is, maybe you have this standard: you can't date somebody who does not have a job, or somebody who does not have a job that he is enjoying, somebody that who can handle conflicts in a good manner, in a healthy way. That can be a standard. But boundaries are things that you set after after maybe that person weighs your standard. So you have boundaries that you have put between you and your partner to avoid being manipulated. Yeah, those are the differences between a boundary and a standard. And I want to tell you guys, like, you should not feel guilty if somebody, maybe you've set a certain boundary, and maybe it's your close friend, and he or she is not willing to respect that boundary. You're not supposed to feel guilty, because that is something that you have put for yourself, to avoid being manipulated. So in case somebody manipulates or violates that boundary, you should not feel guilty. And if for example, that relationship ends because someone manipulated that boundary, you are not supposed to feel guilty or ask yourself many questions. And if before okay if you have a problem setting boundaries, and maybe you decide, I'm going to set this boundary because of this. Okay, uh you must have a reason as to why you're setting this certain boundary for yourself. So, you have to know, like, why do you want to set this boundary? What are the reasons as to why you want to set this boundary? You must have a purpose, or you must have something that maybe makes you to set this certain boundary between you and maybe your friends, your colleagues at work. And yeah, so before you set those boundaries, you can explain to your peers or your friends, I'm setting this boundary because of this and this. And if those people are not willing to respect those boundaries, you're not supposed to feel guilty. You just let them. And if that relationship ends, you're not supposed to start asking yourself questions. Why did I do this? Why did I? Remember, you're setting those boundaries to keep your self-love intact and to keep yourself from being manipulated by other people. So you shouldn't feel guilty at all, at all. Also, there's another issue. You can have boundaries with your family. Let's say you're having a partner and maybe your family does not like your partner. You can tell them that I'm not okay with you disrespecting my partner. So that is a boundary. You're not okay. And maybe you can also have another family boundary whereby maybe if they're body shaming you or telling you this, you can say that, you can tell them that you're not okay with them body shaming you, telling you that your body looks like this and that. That is not supposed to happen. And those are some of the family boundaries that you can set them within your family. I know with family boundaries it can be hard, but trust me, these things are there, and you should have them to stop being manipulated by other people. Like, okay, people who are not good at setting boundaries tend to be people pleasing. For example, maybe I have my friend, and he has a child or something like that, and uh, he calls you or she calls you and tells you, I want you to go and pick my child from school because I'm in this place and I won't be able to go and pick my child on time. And because you don't want to violate your friendship, or you don't want your friendship to end, you just say yes. But deep down inside, you want to say no. You can't go. Okay, maybe you can tell her or him, I'm busy right now, I won't be able to do that for you. That is a boundary. Maybe your friend is not supposed to violate you. So examples of people who are not good at setting boundaries, they are people pleasing. They tend to accept offers while deep down they do not want to do that favor for you, or they do not want to do that work for you or something like that. Those are people who are people pleasing. And I've said that these boundaries are very important, and yeah, everyone should have boundaries for him or herself. You can have personal boundaries. Let's say you won't be using your phone from, maybe when you wake up, you won't touch your phone up to 12 p.m. That is a boundary for yourself. And it's like, maybe you do not want the social media peer pressure, so you tend to put limits. You won't be using social media past this time, or you set time, like you'll be using WhatsApp at a certain time for 1 hour and you're out. Instagram, you'll be using it for 1 hour and out. That is a boundary. And trust me, it really helps, and it really makes your self-love to be intact. And yeah, boundaries are very, very important. And I can say, in case you have a problem setting boundaries, you can ask yourself some questions before you decide to set a certain boundary. Relationship, before setting those boundaries, you can sit down with your partner and talk about them. And yeah, you can understand each other, which are these boundaries that are supposed to be set and all that. So that's what I had for you guys today. And yeah, I'm hoping that you guys have learned something, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to set boundaries for yourself, and you're going to set boundaries with your friends, people, your especially friends. I know you can have a very nice best friend, but ikifika place ingine, you have to you should have your stand with your boundaries to avoid being manipulated. And yeah, I know you can have a friend and you really want to do a favor for him or her, but you're not in the position to do that, so you can say no, and your friend needs to respect that boundary. Okay, so guys, do not forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and also share this video. And also you can tap on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be notified. Anyway, bye guys, and have a nice time. Bye.